G'day, I'm Greg and welcome to the shed. Just going to go through a couple of purchases that I've made recently and some stuff that I've scored. Just quickly, don't want to spend too much time on it, but just to give you a bit of an idea of some of the stuff that I've come across. We'll start with this, the very cheap auto parts store in town. Do these little combination squares, and it's not special, it's cheap, but what is surprising about it is how good it actually is, and also how bad it actually is in a couple of areas. What I'll do is I'll zoom in and we'll give you a bit of a look. So now that I've zoomed in a bit, hopefully this will stay in shot. Yeah, I probably should tilt it up a bit more. So that's what it is. What is a very pleasant surprise about this is that when I take to it with my engineer's square, it's almost impossible to see any daylight through it. It's very good. It's amazingly good. The downside of it is that it's very, very coarse. It comes with a little scribe, and the level, the bubble, appears to be pretty close. Now, for what they charge for these things, yeah, good value. Plenty good enough for what I'm using it for, which is just general marking out and a bit of a guide. The other thing that I did was I picked up one of their chainsaw replacement discs. Again, this is pretty cheap. This was, I can't really buy it, in real terms I can't buy any cheaper on the internet, but what the big advantage of it is it's got a decent sized hole on it. And that'll be quite handy on the tool and cutter grinder. Yes, I have a chainsaw sharpener, but this is, being so thin and reasonably robust, this will be quite a handy addition for the tool and cutter grinder. Now, actually what I might do is I'll just change the shot a little bit. Okay, so I was at the second-hand tool shop the other day, and it's not too far away, and the guy brings out this little incomplete box. It's Verdict brand, and it had these three items in it. And he goes, I don't know what they're for. And I went, I know exactly what they're for. And what they are is, this one will go in your boring bar or into your dial gauge stand, and you put your dial gauge mount on the end of it. And this one here will go in the tool holder on your lathe or into your height gauge, and again you put a dial gauge on it. Same with this one, nice little one. It's a shame the rest of the kit's not here. What I probably should do is I probably should have a look and see what the whole kit was, because it looks like there was another one in here, there's some stuff up the side. I would have expected that there was a gauge of some sort in here. But yeah, that was a nice little score. There was also this one. I couldn't help myself. This one here is a Proto Tools, so it says. Hopefully it's in focus. It looks like it is. Proto Tools. Rear gauge. It's imperial. It's 1 thou increments. It's nice and smooth. It's damn cold today. It's nice and smooth and it works really nice. And guess what else is in here? That looks familiar. There's a rod which screws in here. There's a thread in the end of this, because I think that there's, or not think, it looks like there's a rod missing out of here. So we'll drop that back in there. We've got our little clamp here, which will go 1, 2, and 3 positions. It's got a little V in the bottom there. This is a bit average, if I'm being kind to it. The alignment's not quite where it should be. It looks like it's got a little bend in the back here. Oh. In here it looks like it's got a little bend. It doesn't look like it's quite true. It's faced on this face, faced here, faced there, but these sides here are just rough. So I'll slide that in there. This here. These couple of bits look like they've gone missing reasonably recently. There's also a little extension here, and the extension will go in the bottom of the gauge here. This foot screws out, it's not too tight, it's obviously been in and out a few times. I won't screw it in, but the interesting bit is our little, when I get it out, a little wobbly doobly, which wobbles around. The pivot is about here, so it's not quite equidistant, or doesn't appear to be. It's been a bit overstressed at some point in time. It's got a little banana in it. But what happens with this is at about half gauge travel, I just need to get it quite right. At about half gauge travel, you can screw this in, like so, and now I have a very handy little item. Very, very handy little item. I really like that. So there's that one. So I was pretty happy with that. I paid, that's part of the same lot. We won't talk about how much I paid yet, because the gem, as far as I'm concerned, is this one, which is made by Mercer. Now, that is a treasure. Again, it's incomplete. Well, we've got this nice little Mercer thousandths gauge, and it really feels good. It's as smooth as silk. We've got our little rocking bar, which is when I put it together. The ratio on this, you'll notice, is pretty close to 1 to 1. It looks like it's exactly 1 to 1. And just snip that up, and it works beautifully. The roughness in that operation is my finger movements in the cold, but it is smooth as silk. It's just fantastic. This will be very, very handy on a lot of other gauges I've got. I'll be very, very happy using this on the metric mics as well. So we'll put that in there, that in there. As you can see, there's a fair bit of stuff missing out of here. We've got our foot bracket. Now, the foot bracket has only got provision for one. It's got one thread in here. The foot's missing off here, but there was no other bits in here. So obviously there's a fair bit of stuff gone missing out of that over the years, because we've got one clamp and we've got one rod, and the very fact this rod here doesn't line up with anything else. It's got a hole in it. It's got a banjo, but nothing else. So there's obviously something missing off that. And we have another one of these mounts, but funnily enough, there's nothing to actually screw it to. What is interesting though is that unscrews out of there, but there's nothing to actually connect all of this stuff together. But that's alright, I can live with that. But I'm very, very happy with that, and I'm very happy with that. So, I'll just put that down like that, closes up a bit better. So, these three here all came together. In all honesty, I paid a bit much for them. I won't tell you how much I paid, but it was too much. But it was still pretty cheap, you know. It's I probably paid the price of one good dial gauge for all of that. Now, a friend of mine turned up the other day with the big red box, which you can't see because we're a bit too far zoomed in. Okay, there we go. He turned up the big red box. I've repurposed this box since he turned up, but I'll show you some of what was in it. Actually, what I might do is I might turn you off and I'll come back and show you all of what was in it.